Well, the gardens are blooming and we are here combining that with some art. The Arts in Bloom Garden Walk is happening. It's coming up. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, of course.
Tell us what your role is, because this is a pivotal event that you guys are putting on.
So I'm the publicity chair for this year's garden walk. I'm a volunteer, so I'm not getting paid for any of this.
That's okay, but we love it. And this is such a great event. You guys have been putting this on for what, 30 plus years?
35 years.
35
yes.
years,
yes.
That's amazing. So for anybody who hasn't been a part of the garden walk before, talk to us about what that looks like. I mean, what the purpose of it really is to combine what we see, what we know and love, nature, and combine it with the arts.
Okay, so logistically, here's how the day is going to run. So you start off at the Hospitality Center. So the Hospitality Center is at Christ the King Lutheran Church on Cleveland Road. So you go there, you get your guidebook, and in the guidebook you have a map of all the gardens.
Okay.
And then you just take your time. You go to the garden, it's self-paced. You can go at any time during the day between 9:30 and 7:30. So you just go to the gardens, and then you'll see artists working in the gardens, and you can just enjoy your day.
I love it. And these are, this is someone's home that you're going to, right?
Absolutely.
We're
Yes.
in someone's backyard right now.
Yes, so we're in Julie and David Deal's garden. So they've been so kind as to volunteer their garden this year for the garden walk.
Okay, so for people who maybe have been working really hard on their garden for a long time,
Yes.
how do they get to be a part of the garden walk?
I think they secure people. I mean, I think they actively look the year prior. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think they have a
Because it
board.
takes time to get to that
Absolutely.
point, right?
Yeah, it takes time. So they look a year in advance, and I think they just might ask people and they ask if they know people within their neighborhood to see if they'd be interested. And if there's enough interest, I think then that's how they choose the gardens.
And how many gardens are on the walk this year?
Oh, good question. I want to say
Or is that information available on your website?
that's available on the website.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And I know we're not giving out the information ahead of time because we don't want anyone walking through people's backyards ahead of time. But when is the event happening?
The event's happening on June 25th from 9:30 to 7:30.
Awesome. So for these different houses that people are going to go to, they're going to be able to see the gardens, and we're also bringing in the artists to it. How
Yes.
many artists do you guys have involved?
We have
this year?
20 artists this year, and all different
amazing.
mediums, from drawing, painting, pastels, ceramics. So yeah, we've got a lot of
wow.
different mediums, a lot of variety as far as the types of art as well.
Okay, so when I walk into the garden, I'm going to see those artists actually
Yeah.
doing their art in the garden, right?
Absolutely. They'll be working in the gardens.
I love that. So maybe they're going to take some of the background. I guess, I don't know, that hosta is probably one of my favorites. I love hostas.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. But like finding those unique pieces, unique visuals
Yes.
to make and create art. What happens with the art afterwards?
Afterwards, I think the artists decide what they want to do with it. I think some of them actually donate the pieces to the garden owners, just as kind of a thank you. Otherwise, they get to decide what they do with it.
And I want to point out, this isn't a free event. You have to get your ticket. And that's
Yes.
also how you get the information of where the gardens are at,
Yes.
right?
So you can get your tickets. You can get them online at www.southbendart.com. You can go to the South Bend Museum of Art and you can get them directly from the counter, or you can get them the day of at the Hospitality Center. So they're $20 in advance, but $25 if you get them the day of.
Okay, and this is really like a fundraiser for you guys.
It's a
too.
fundraiser. It's a fundraiser to support our arts and outreach programs.
I love that. I love it. I think we're going to talk to some of the artists.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we're going to talk to some of the artists. And some of you have done this before, but you have not. This is your first time doing arts in the garden. Tell me
Yes.
about what you're expecting out of this experience.
I'm honestly not sure what to expect. I usually do plein air paintings, which is...
Okay, what does that mean?
So plein air is where you sit in nature and you draw what you see as it is. So it's not from a picture. So I'm hoping to do some of that while sitting in the garden wherever they place me. And I'm really excited. Hopefully some people are intrigued and want to try it for themselves someday maybe.
Yeah, and this is one of your drawings here?
Yes.
What did you use for this one?
This I used chalk pastel.
Okay, it's beautiful. Now, is this something you saw here in Michiana?
So this is from Cobus Creek in Elkhart.
Okay.
And I sat next to the creek and there was this little stump covered in moss and I just decided to sit and draw it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, tell me about yours too. This is a beautiful piece.
Thank you. My piece is of coneflowers and lavender, and coneflowers are an Indiana flower. So I made this very much, within our region. Yeah, this is plein air as well. So just done are done like immediately. So in oil painting we say alla prima, which is a fancy way to say it. But I'm excited. I'm excited to be in the garden, and this is my second time doing this.
Okay.
And back when I was in college 10 years ago, I was doing it at another garden. So I'm excited.
Oh, cool. And I know you guys don't know yet where you're going to be placed yet, right? Okay, so it's going to be a surprise. We're going to see that. Colton, tell me about your art.
Yeah, so I did a charcoal drawing of some calla lilies. We did this in a studio. And so when you're working with charcoal, you can get a lot of heavy contrast and be able to create a lot of form. So it'll be excited to come out here and be able to work in outside of the studio and be able to lighten up the drawing and do some different things with it.
Now, you guys have done this before.
Yes.
Yes.
How does that feel when you're able to kind of do your art surrounded by others and surrounded by nature?
It's really nice. It kind of breaks the pattern. As artists, a lot of the times we're in our studios, we're alone, we're focusing on like our more personal visions, and being able to go out and not only share our art but share the experience with others, I think is a really unique and beneficial thing for us as artists, but also the community.
Yeah, I think that when we're out in the field or in a yard, per se, it's fun because we might work on our own type of work, different genres of work as well. But being out in the air and outside is really freeing, and it's really fun, and it's very meditative.
Okay.
So hopefully people traveling through the gardens will get that experience as well.
Or you'll see me in the background like, oh no, I think you need to add more peonies to that.
Yeah, totally. Critique
Absolutely.
is welcome, you know?
I love that. Well, this is such a great experience for you guys. How long have you been doing art?
So I've been doing art since I was a little kid.
Okay.
And it just was something that I loved so much that I decided to go to art school. And now I work at the museum, so everything's worked out, I guess.
I love this. This is an example of how things work out. This is great. Well, I'm really excited for you guys to be a part of the Garden Walk and just to get out and experience nature and seeing it in so many different ways. So when people are here, they're watching you do their artwork. I mean, what has been some of your guys' experience in the past when you are interacting with those individuals?
Yeah, so when they come around, they're always curious about the medium we're using, what we're looking at, how we do it, and so it's fun to explain to people the process. So they're very interested in the process and what goes into it, maybe even what materials we're using specifically. It's really fun to see people really curious.
Or do you start with the background? Do you start with the foreground?
Right.
Like these are questions we need answers to.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's very educational in that way, where as artists we're getting to explain what we're doing, but it's also things that we don't expect. I remember someone asking me like, oh, how did you choose your composition? What made you choose this spot compared to other ones? And sometimes, as artists we're like, I don't know. I have to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, I think overall it's just a good way for us to interact with the broader community as well.
Absolutely. This is rain or shine, so I hope you guys are going to have maybe a tent over if you needed to.
Yep. We're going to bring our umbrellas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully not, though.
Otherwise, we're going to have watercolor paintings.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, now Julie, you are one of the homeowners, and you've been a part of this process for a long time, or at least you've been visiting it.
For a very long time, yes. I've been going to the garden walks for the last 24 years.
Oh my gosh.
So my husband's grandmother was a member of the Art League and would take me every year, every summer onto the garden walk, and I would leave each year saying, some year maybe my garden will be on the garden walk.
And this is your year.
This is my year, I guess.
Okay, so
whether I'm ready or not.
I have to ask, how long did it take you to get the garden ready?
Has it been
24 years too?
We've been here for 20 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So
it's evolved over the years into many different things. So, but exciting.
What are some of your favorite things in your garden?
You know what we love to have as many birds present in our landscape and safe spaces for the birds to be. We love the different colors and the various things that bloom throughout each different season. So
absolutely, I love that. So you have been doing this a long time. What does that experience look like, or what should somebody expect when they're coming to a garden walk?
I think just keeping an open mind, because each home or each garden totally reflects the person or reflects different things that happen within, or their loves or their passions. Sometimes it's all perennials, or sometimes it's lots of different types of trees, or
so kind of keeping that perspective that there's variety everywhere.
And abilities everywhere as well.
And how does that incorporate into the art element? for those who are going to be making their art that day?
I think they find what speaks to them when they arrive in the garden, for sure. The artist can definitely look around, and I see that they kind of walk around and look to see where a space that they might like to, spend their day creating a beautiful picture.
And I love this too. I know you said you've been coming here for 20 plus years, and I mentioned when I pulled in, I said, oh my God, your neighbor, I've stopped them before and told them how much I love their garden. I didn't see all this stuff you have back here too.
Right.
But this is a beautiful area that you guys have, especially in this neighborhood. And talk about what that means to somebody who might be coming and visiting the garden walk, that they get to experience what maybe they want to bring into their own garden.
Sure. I think, hopefully we get to see things that people feel they're comfortable to try, or that they enjoy or like, or colors that they might want to use within their own garden.
And you're going to be available that day too. So if I have questions, okay.
We'll be
Because I know everybody's asking, what kind of tree is that one?
Yes, we'll be here. Yes, we'll
Okay.
be here. Yes. And I'll make sure I know all my trees by then.
Thanks, Julie.
Yes. Thank you, Courtney.